Preface and Prologue of Lord of the World. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Maria Therese. Lord of the World by Robert Hugh Benson. Preface and Prologue. Preface. Dedication. Clavi Domus Davit. I am perfectly aware that this is a terribly sensational book, and open to innumerable criticisms on that account as well as on many others. But I did not know how else to express the principles I desired, and which I passionately believe to be true, except by producing their lines to a sensational point. I have tried, however, not to scream unduly loud, and to retain, so far as possible, reverence and consideration for the opinions of other people. Whether I have succeeded in that attempt is quite another matter. Robert Hugh Benson, Cambridge, 1907. Prologue. Persons who do not like tiresome prologues need not read this one. It is essentially only to the situation, not to the story. "You must give me a moment," said the old man, leaning back. Percy resettled himself in his chair and waited, chin on hand. It was a very silent room in which the three men sat, furnished with the extreme common sense of the period. It had neither window nor door, for it was now 60 years since the world, recognizing that space is not confined to the surface of the globe, had begun to burrow in earnest. Old Mr. Templeton's house stood some 40 feet below the level of the Thames Embankment, in what was considered a somewhat commodious position, for he had only 100 yards to walk before he reached the station of the Second Central Motor Circle, and a quarter of a mile to the volor station at Blackfriars. He was over 90 years old, however, and seldom left his house now. The room itself was lined throughout with a delicate green jade enamel, prescribed by the Board of Health, and was suffused with the artificial sunlight discovered by the great Reuter 40 years before. It had the color tone of a spring wood, and was warmed and ventilated through the classical frieze grating to the exact temperature of 18 degrees centigrade. Mr. Templeton was a plain man, content to live as his father had lived before him. The furniture, too, was a little old-fashioned in make and design, constructed, however, according to the prevailing system of soft asbestos enamel welded over iron, indestructible, pleasant to the touch, and resembling mahogany. A couple of bookcases, well filled, ran on either side of the bronze pedestal electric fire, before which sat the three men, and in the further corner sat the hydraulic lifts that gave entrance, the one to the bedroom, the other to the corridor 50 feet up, which opened onto the embankment. Father Percy Franklin, the elder of the two priests,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?